Hi guys, Ballistic Ball here, coming at you with another Warships video. Now as you can see, I'm at level 21, which means I haven't progressed really that far. I did get to level 22 at one stage, but have dropped back now. Which means that the gameplay that I've got on my log isn't that different from what you've seen before. So I thought in this video we could concentrate on the theory of warships. And to do that, we need to start at the tech tree. So here we are at Ballistic Ball's tech tree. Now if you've been watching my videos that we've been putting out, then you'll have seen this many times and you'll know sort of pretty much where I am. But for those of you that haven't seen it, let's start by just sort of skimming through very quickly. As you can see, everything that I've opened up I've almost maxed. If I haven't maxed it, it's because I haven't really needed it. There's a lot of things that I haven't opened. There's no point in opening tech that isn't required. Just a waste of keys. So that's my tech tree to this point. I opened up building damage the other day, and I'm just saving keys now to get this multi-node down here, where I'll get a couple of mortars, and then onto the heavy choppers before pushing on to 6 ER, and that's probably where I'll end this season, at 6 ER. The reason for that being that it's just not time to push to 7. I'm not going to be able to gather the keys for 7, but we'll come to that a bit later on. So let's go back to the start of the tech tree. Now, just before each season starts, there are sneak peek of videos available from a number of boom tubers, including Op Destroy. He does one in conjunction with Shish Kebaba, and Skull Crusher as well also does a very good sneak peeks video. The key to Warships is using that information that's available just before the start of Warships and coming up with a plan and trying to stick with it. You don't have to stick with it religiously, but trying to kind of stick fairly close to it. Now, my plan was to get to artillery as soon as possible. Artillery was available at 3 ERs, which meant that 3 ER gameplay was going to be barting. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, love it or hate it, that's just the way it was. It was there, it needed opening. The sooner you got to it, the sooner you pushed up the tech tree. So my plan this season was to open mines, smoke, multi-node at the top here. I took the machine guns because I felt that they would be more use against defending against heavy rush and warrior rush, which was the early meta, opening the third, then on to opening the third ER. Medkits, which you had to take. I skipped bullet. Now a lot of people stopped and grabbed bullet, which held them back somewhat from getting artillery early. Onto boom mines, troop damage, this multi-node where I took the damage amp, and I've kind of been skipping between the back damage amp and the microwave all season as I've been changing my base layout. The GBE node, the medics, the Zukas, and eventually the barrage. Now, once you got the barrage, maxed it as soon as possible, and we were then, the people that did that early were able to push on into gold really quite quickly. That was my plan, and that's what I did with my Gormless Goat account. With this account, I didn't quite take such a direct route. I came to 3 ERs. Once I'd opened 3 ERs, I skipped down and opened the cannon, the cannons, and the building damage node, and then came back for the troop health node before pushing on again with health and the same path to the barrage. But that meant I was a little bit slower getting to barrage on Ballistic Ball than I was on my Gormless Goat account. This, guys, is why we really say about pushing on to the next ER all the time. Don't sit and hoard keys. We don't advise sitting and hoarding keys. I certainly wouldn't advise sitting and hoarding keys. I've seen many people in the Facebook group, in our Facebook group, sort of saying, you know, I've got 300 keys and 5 million tokens. Should I open the next ER? Well, yes, you should have opened it days ago. You should have opened it as soon as you had those keys available. enough to open it, because that's what allows you to move on to the next layer of effective tech. So once we got that artillery, and we were using that efficiently, I was then opening gold chests on Gormless Goat, and was able to get down and get that 4th ER opened early, which then gave me direct passage directly straight away along the bottom path there to the artillery, and got that maxed, which meant barting 4 ERs became an even more viable option. I was using heavy Zuka, and have pretty much been using I was using heavy rush early in the season, pretty much up until I got Zukas. And then once I'd opened the Zukas, I was using a heavy Zuka rush, 2, 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, depending on the opponent's statue combination, because at this stage building health became available. Now building health, that's the only building health boost on this level, so that was important to get that quickly. And once you got that, again there was another window for pushing, whilst you're playing all those players who didn't have the building health, and that really was what kind of pushed me through gold on Ballistic Ball quite quickly. Once I got to this stage, I got to this sort of stage at fairly similar time on both accounts. I decided to open the 5th ER on Gormless Goat, where I got the troop health, opened Kavan, and then opened the bombardiers, and that took me sort of directly into the diamond tier. Whereas on Ballistic Ball, I went back and I opened up mortars, I opened up all these choice nodes, I took boom cannons, I got the flamethrowers, wherever they are, flamethrowers up there, I got the shock launchers before I went to 5ER, and you may remember from the videos just slogging away at those dirty 4ER bases and not really making any progression and being stuck in gold. So Ballistic Ball kind of got stuck at 4ER, trying to save up enough, and the more I saved, the more people were progressing around me, more my opponents were progressing around me on the leaderboards, which meant I had to then go back for the rocket launchers. I ended up opening another boom cannon, I ended up having to max out or virtually max out med kits, just constantly trying to stay to stay in gold. And eventually I decided that there was almost no point in pushing on, so I stayed in gold and just made a dirty base and held my own. Since then I've opened 5 ERs, I've managed to push into diamond with the help of Kavan and Bullet, and the building damage node here, but it's taken probably best part of, I think, maybe 6 days. Now 6 days at 3 chests a day, that's 18 chests. We said what, 4 keys per chest, so you know that's a huge amount of keys that I've missed out on, which is why with the Gormless Goat account I'm just about to open heavy choppers, which will then leave me enough to kind of be halfway towards opening that 6th engine room, which means tomorrow on Gormless Goat I'll be able to jump to 6 engine rooms, open that troop damage up, and hopefully push on up the leaderboard a little bit. Gormless Goat is the account that I'm pushing with this season. It's not Ballistic Ball. Ballistic Ball's kind of just ticking over, playing for a bit of fun. It's when I start the season, when a lot of players start the season, they start with 2 accounts, so take 2 separate paths, and over the course of the season, one will become their push account and one will become their play account, if you like, the one they just mess around with. The way this has gone, Gormless Goat has become my push account this season, and Ballistic Ball has become the one that I've just kind of been messing around with. So yeah, that's kind of the tech tree, and the reason that I took the choices I took the choices I did. So say with Gormless Goat, it was virtually the same to the 5th ER, but I decided to open the 5th ER straight off of the building health node. I went straight for the 5th ER. Once I'd got that opened, I then got the troop health. Then I came back for flamethrowers, then I came back for shock launchers, then I came back and opened the boom cannons, and eventually came back and opened the mortars. I think I got Kavan and Gramps before I got the mortars even. But you kind of need to, at this stage, you need to be aware of the bases that are evolving around you. Look on your local leaderboard, see where you are on your local leaderboard, and look at the players around you, look at their bases, see what they're doing, look at your opponents. Can't stress enough about looking at your opponent's replays. It will show you where your base is weak, it will show you where your base is vulnerable, and maybe you can think about sort of how to strengthen those. But you know, that's really important to kind of look at those replays of the opponent's attack. If you want to push on, then that's something you need to do. And if you don't, then that's fine. You know, there is no right and wrong way to play Warships, like we stress within our Facebook group. There's no right and wrong way to play Boom Beach. The only right way is to have fun. At the end of the day, it's a game, and it's there to have fun. But we just trying to give you kind of tips to maybe help you think about your path more for next season, and hopefully you can kind of push on to that extra tier up into to diamond for those of you that are only managing to make gold, and gold for those of you that are only managing to make iron. And you know, who knows, from there you may find yourself able to make that legendary tier. But that's it. That's kind of the tree, and how I've come to be in the position that I'm in. And this is the position that I'm in now. I've got 85 stars. I'm 15 stars away from getting back to level 22. As you can see, I've already been there. I've collected the chest. 15 stars away from going back to level 22. This is my base. The only defence that I'm missing off it at this point in time are these two mortars here. I may decide to change this boom cannon for two machine guns a little bit later on, depending on how vulnerable my base becomes to seekers, and it'll be in front of this ER here that I place those. So what I'm going to do very quickly is just do these two attacks, try and get the chests, and see where we go from there. So this guy has 100% defensive building damage, which means I'll be going with 4 heavies and 4 gramps. He's got pretty much the same layout that I had last night, just that these sniper towers are a bit more of a steeper angle. So what we're going to do is drop 2 and 2 over here, and 2 and 2 here. Then are we going to bark that doom cannon out? Yeah, I think we're going to bark that doom cannon out. So that's going to be 2 barrage and 1 artillery to take that out. Drop Kavan. I always do that. Leave Kavan till late. I tend not to drop Kavan straight away. I don't want him going rushing off across the map and getting killed by a rogue boom cannon. So yeah, Kavan's down doing his right. So let's go and shut down these rocket launchers here. Give Kavan a second wind. These boom cannons, are starting to come into play. So let's shut them down along with the shock launcher. They're going to come into play. Shut them down. Another second wind. So that's now opened up the assault on that shock launcher. So I'm not going to bother shutting that down, but I will shut these down again. Drop some critters down here, take care of that boom mine. So this right side now is the area that I really need to pay attention to, as this is the area that is most vulnerable, as it has no sort of form of meat shield. Let's get some critters down over here, clear these mines. Yes, I'm going to drop a bomb on that just to speed that along, and then really just going to let these guys do their thing. Once that, right, so we're going to need to flare to these. Now he's gone to 1, let's drop those. And then it's just, I think he's probably got me here. 158, that's quite slow. I've been doing those in sort of about 220, 210, 220. Oh, 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay. So that's taken me up to 7. So I just need one more attack to collect that chest. I'm not going to get back into 22 now on this stream. One more attack to collect this chest, and then we'll get those mortars, which will then mean tomorrow I'll be picking up the heavy choppers. Okay, so he again has got 100% defensive building damage. Most players now at this level have got the defensive building damage. He's got a laser. Oh, you don't see many of them around. Laser there, sat in the middle. You don't see many of them around. I was finding a few when I was going HZ, but a lot of people have done away with the laser now. So, what are we gonna... There's almost no need to shock anything too early here. Let's shut that shock launcher and that down, and that shock launcher and that down. Let's get a second wind going. Looks like Kavan's going to stay right side, so we kind of need to pay more attention to the left side of this map here and make sure everything's shut down up the top there. Let's get another second wind going and get that lot shut down up in that top corner. Right, now the Doom Cannon's really starting to come into play. Let's get another second wind, which will give the Doom Cannon something to focus on other than the diddles. Oh, Kavan's just taken one to the face. Let's get that Doom Cannon out of there as quickly as possible. Let's try and get this rocket launcher down as well. We're not going to win this one, but again, we're not overly fussed on, like I said, on this account, because they're just going to walk through the mines and then we're going to fizzle. I've got the chests I wanted. Let's just march him through that mine, then we get that out of the way. Oh, the rocket launcher's taking care of business. Okay, so let's get out of there, give him his win, and we can collect the chest. So yeah, there you see, I've kind of built up keys again, and I'm straight back into the tech tree to see where I can use those keys. There really is no need to be saving keys unless it's for a particular reason. For example, tomorrow, my first 2 chests that I open tomorrow, I'll be using to get heavy buffs with, and then I will be saving keys for 6ER. Now, by the time I've saved those keys for 6ER, which will probably be Thursday evening UK time, most people in 6ER are going to have the troop damage, so I may well go on and wait till Friday morning before I open up. Oh, that's my missus's birthday. I'm not sure that's going to be that viable. Anyway, wait till Friday. In theory, wait till Friday morning for the troop, enough keys to unlock the troop damage as well. At this stage, saving enough tokens isn't an issue. because you do that whilst you're saving the keys. I probably won't be playing with critters this season. After that, I may go, after the troop damage, I may go back for bullet. One line of thought was to come tanks, Screns, open up 7 ER and get the shock mines to shut down seeker attacks, but I think the dirty base will shut down seeker attacks. What I might do is to come straight down, pick seekers up, I won't be investing them, get the extra GBE node, possibly get the hot pot, and then get brick, because I've seen a few people now doing heavy chopper Zuka rush with brick, and that could possibly be the end, an alternative end meta to seekers. Seekers are going to be the quickest way, but those people with dirty bases and these shock mines really are going to you're going to struggle. So that upper tier, if we look on the global leaderboard when it loads, that upper tier there, Cactus sat right up the top, they'll be seekering. Let's just go and take a look at his base very quickly. He may well have a dirty base by now. So yeah, even Cactus has gone ahead now. He's been in Legendary so long and been accruing keys that he's been able to open up all the defences and build a really dirty, still 6 ER, so he's still not gone 7 ER. That's interesting. I wonder if Kinetic has. No, so Kinetic's still 6. Looks like a lot of people are sticking at 6 this season. I certainly shan't be going any further than 6. That's as far as I'm going to be able to go with the tech will allow me to go. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope it's been useful. I hope it's been interesting. If you've got any comments, please feel free to drop them below. Look us up on Facebook, Boom Beach Tactics Forum Recruitment Group. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you found it useful. We'll catch you again soon. Cheers, guys. Peace.